Welcome. Welcome to iGod Today, your daily reflection, and I'm Father Soney Sebastian, a Divine Word missionary priest. The theme for today's readings is the nature of true religion. The law of Moses was very important for the people of Israel. They were rightly proud of the legal system they had developed in their desire to be God's people. Through the law, they were expected to lead lives which were different, at least to them, better than their pagan neighbors. There was then great emphasis on the observances of the law as a sign of commitment and obedience to God. But by the time of Jesus, the law had taken or it had become so hopelessly complicated in its applications that only experts could interpret it in the many practical problems which would arise in daily living. The law also was no longer a guideline helping people on their way of loving and serving God. Observing the law had become an end in itself. The emphasis was not on building a relationship with God and one's fellow human beings, but on checking out one's own external behavior. The problem is presented in the gospel today by a conflict between Jesus and the Pharisees. Why do your disciples not wash their hands before eating? The question really reflects tension in the early Christian community, where some of the new Christians were Jews and some were Gentiles. The Gentiles did not follow Jewish customs, and the Jewish Christians were upset with that. Jesus is criticizing these blind practices. What he is criticizing is the disproportionate importance given to these things to the neglect of what is far more important: the love of God and the care for one's fellow human beings. Much of such enslavement to culture and tradition is a major source of conflict in our world today, between communities and within families. Such fundamentalism is a source of terrible hatred and violence in many countries, and the complete negation of true religion. We need to be very much aware of it in our own multi-ethnic, multicultural kind of society. Jesus then speaks of where real uncleanliness comes from. The source of uncleanliness is not any food or drink that comes from outside, but rather real uncleanliness is in the heart. A heart that does not become unclean by eating a particular food, still less by not washing hands before eating, but by evil intentions that arises in the depths of his heart or her heart. Lust, stealing, murder, adultery, greed, maliciousness, deceit, jealousy, slanderous talk, arrogance, etc. Jesus says all these are in direct conflict with a genuinely loving relationship with God and people. Washing hands does nothing to change that. Think of this as an example. We often become restless and unhappy when the traffic lights turn red against us. But we are upset even more when they break down because of the chaos it creates. I'm sure this very day we will have many opportunities to love and serve Jesus in various situations. Instead of being anxious, ask rather, where and how can I be a more loving and caring and compassionate person this day? Amen.